Hello, and welcome to the Media Club podcast. Last month, we discussed our thoughts on adulthood. Today, we'll be discussing how the American education system can be improved. So, before we begin with today's topic, we're going to introduce our speakers by mentioning our name, grade, school, and answering the question, what's one thing you don't like about your school? So, my name is Sean. I am a senior going to Troy High School, and one thing I do not like about my school is how they manage their funding. All right, Josephine.
Hi, my name is Josephine Lee. I'm a sixth grader and I go to Chadwick International. And the one thing I don't like about my school would be probably taking so many tests.
Timothy.
Hi everyone, my name is Timothy Bang. I'm a junior at Yorba Linda High School. I'm 16 years old. And one thing I don't like about the American school system is also the funding.
Edwin.
Hi, I'm a sophomore at Vermont Military Academy School, and I'm a sophomore there. And what I don't like about my school is that the lunch is not good.
Edward.
Hello, I'm Edward. I'm Edward Lee. I'm a rising junior at the Fairmont Preparatory Academy, and the one thing I don't like is the way the administration is handled.
Jay.
Hello, my name is Jay Sung, and I'm a rising junior at St. Peter's Prep. And one thing I don't like about my school is the amount of freedom that our school gives to, for example, class selection or clubs.
Scarlett.
Hi, my name is Scarlett. I'm a rising sophomore at Sunny Hills High School, and something I don't like about my school is how in the upcoming year scheduling lunch is before break.
Yuna.
My name is Yuna, and I'm a junior at Yorba Linda High School, and I don't like that my school is too big.
Celine.
Hi, I'm Celine. I'm a 12th grader at Cypress High School, and one thing I don't like about my school is how we don't have a college counselor in our school.
Kaylin.
Hi, my name is Kaylin Kim, and I'm a rising junior at Sunny Hills High School. And one thing I don't like about my school is frequent pop quizzes.
Jamie.
My name is Jamie. I'm a senior at Troy High School, and one thing I don't like about my school is how competitive it is.
Connie.
Hi, my name is Connie, and I'm a sophomore at Los Alamitos High School, and I don't like how the passing periods aren't long enough.
David.
My name is David. I'm a junior at Troy High School, and I think the worst part of our school is probably the competition.
Julie.
Hello, my name is Julie, and I go to Bella Christian High School, and I'm a rising junior. And one thing that I don't like about my high school is that we don't have effective schedule.
Eunice.
Hi, I'm Eunice. I'm a junior and I go to Los Angeles High School. And one thing I don't like about my school is that I just don't like the schedule. I wish we had a block schedule.
Ryan.
Hello, I'm Ryan. I'm a ninth grader at Yorba Linda High School. And one thing that I don't like about my high school is that the schedule is kind of limited.
All right. I believe that was everyone. So let's move on to the questions. Okay, so first one. Considering our stagnant test scores regarding of the billions of dollars we've invested into education, do you think the American education system is doing a good job? You want to take this one? Edwin, would you like to try this?
I don't have a thought about it.
Oh, all right. How about you, Celine?
I believe it's doing a pretty good job in my opinion, just because the school itself really cares about schools' freedom or liberty in my opinion. That way they let kids decide their own class schedule or any other ways that it shows. And it definitely needs a lot of part to get improved, but overall I think they are doing a pretty good job right now.
All All right. Anyone else want to talk about this?
I don't think that standardized testing is a good measurement of intelligence and the capability of a student. I feel like it's really unreasonable because in your work life, you're not going to be asked, why did Sally do this? Like, it's kind of, I mean, it's not a really good measure. And I think that the funding of American dollars should not really be put into standardized testing.
Okay. All right, if no one else has anything, let's move on. So, do you think that teachers are underpaid? All right, so, okay, you can go, Scarlett.
Okay, so I do think that teachers are underpaid because they put so much time and effort into educating like the youth, and I think their funding isn't adequate enough for their jobs that they're doing.
All right, so I agree with that. I have a kind of a personal example here where I went to a summer program and there was this advisor that was a high school physics teacher. He was very brilliant. He knew a lot about physics and he was very interested. And he also helped like other students do very well in physics. And he was just a very smart and good guy in general. But I checked his salary. I asked him about it and he said he only makes around like less than 100K per year, which is because he has a family, that's not a lot. So yeah, teachers are definitely underpaid. Okay, anyone else want to answer this?
I think they are underpaid because there are teachers that actually like teaching and engaging with the students.
Definitely. All right, so do you think paying them more would improve our education system? Serve as like a motivation or something?
I definitely do think that increasing their income would help because I can see that a lot of teachers are like unmotivated. Personally in my school, like many of them just like sit down and tell us to teach ourselves sometimes. And I think that's partially because they're underpaid. Because, you know, if you're not getting paid for your work, I'm pretty sure no one really wants to work at their like finest quality. So yeah, I think it'll definitely help if you pay them more.
Well, my question is that if you do pay them more, wouldn't this maybe cause some kind of I don't know, greed or something? Wouldn't that like maybe cause like a cascading effect?
I have a thought about this. So like my school's a private school and the teachers get paid a lot more than they do in non-private schools, but they're really enthusiastic and like proud of their jobs. So I think that it would not be a negative effect on them.
All right, that's cool. Okay, anyone else on how paying them more might improve our education system?
I think it depends on certain type of teachers who they are. Like I also go to a private school, and from what I know, they make significantly less money than public school teachers. But they teach in a way that makes the student like more deeply engaged with them because they teach like with energy. And in public schools, there's some public schools that teachers always want more money, but they don't put the work in. They don't engage with their students. They don't talk with their students like what they're going through. So like I definitely believe that it depends on which organization the teacher is and what like their motives are.
All right. Okay, so next question. Are you ever frustrated about what you are expected to learn in school?
Yeah, I think the amount of subjects that we're expected to learn and the like, I guess the importance of them is kind of, it's like not really, like a lot of the subjects and the content that we learn, it's not really that important. And I feel like if we're spending like our whole childhood on this, like a lot of hours, 7 hours in school and some 2 hours plus doing homework, then I feel like they should be teaching us important stuff. I don't think people should be forced to be taking like, let's say, geometry or pre-calc, for example. One, because some people may just like not want that, and it's also not really that important in most people's jobs. I feel like we could do a better job by allocating their time and their class to something else and not having these sort of prerequisites.
I actually disagree with that a little bit because I think even if you don't really necessarily need like for math to memorize the formulas, I think the things that you use in math, for example, like learning how to like apply like formulas into different situations or learning how to solve problems is like a skill that you need to learn in life. So although I do agree with you to a certain extent that you don't really need to memorize all these like formulas and vocab words, I think the kind of deeper things that you learn from these subjects can help you a lot later in life. And I think that's why school is going to focus more on the application of subjects instead of actually just trying to cram like the information into students, because I think that's the whole point of the education and learning about those subjects.
All right. So, are there resources that you wish you had in school that you think would allow you to learn more efficiently or effectively?
I personally think like the best resource that you can have or like the school can provide is like advice from seniors or like, you know, the upperclassmen, because hearing advices or like getting resources for instance, like their notes, you know, you're not going to get their entire test, but like skimming through their notes for like at least like an hour would really help like for your classes and like preparing for tests. So I think schools can provide times or opportunities to like link students with the upperclassmen to help the underclassmen.
Yeah, I agree with Jamie with like time. I feel like we should have like a period where we can have a study hall so we can finish our homework and study and stuff.
All right, then does your school utilize technology in the classroom? And is there too much technology being used or not enough? Ryan, you want to give this a try?
Yeah, so I think my school utilizes too much technologies because I've personally seen people getting distracted away from like the actual tasks that you're supposed and expected to perform with those technologies.
Very good point.
I think that schools nowadays use the perfect amount, a good amount of technology, but I think the problem comes in at too little restrictions. Like some students due to the need for Google Docs and instant sharing have Chromebooks, but due to lack of internet filters, they get distracted easily. So I think it's a problem of too little restrictions rather than too much technology.
Wait, just curious, how would you enforce students to be focused? Like, what would you do if you were the principal to say? I'm just curious. Yeah, you, Edward.
I would do the web filters because when students don't have access to games or other sites, all they can do is study. But then we have the other problem of inattention, which is more of a student issue and not a technology issue.
I think for this, again, I think it depends on the teachers, like what they're focused on. Like, because some teachers are like kind of noobs and they allow some students to be distracted in a way. They're like completely fine with it as long as they're getting the salary. While there's other teachers who actually put so much effort into teaching these students that they don't appreciate these students getting distracted, and they like create like lesson plans so like they purposely don't get distracted. So like I think it depends on the teachers.
In our school, we use this iPads for like academic uses, but like our school like restricts all the apps and like social medias or something that we can reach out.
All right, we can continue talking about technology, but we gotta move on. So next question. So what elements are necessary to create a well-balanced or ideal school?
I'd say you need rigor, first of all. You need a little bit of competition, and you need like support for students' mental health, for students to actually like keep up with their schoolwork, because if you're mentally stressed out, you can't really be motivated throughout the entire school year.
I personally think it starts with the teachers because, I mean, I've had some good teachers and some bad teachers, but from what I know, from what I know, the best teachers I've ever had, they've always inspired me and made me and changed me in a way. So I think if we have like, I don't know how to describe it, but I guess better teachers who are more inspiring, more enthusiastic, I feel like it also rubs off onto the students instead of like a bad teacher who's like, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this. And it kind of just gets boring, and that's what causes people to be less motivated.
I also think it'd be better if like it was cleaner. Like for example, the bathrooms. Like my school bathrooms, they're not that clean, and there's like trash all over the floor, and it makes me not want to use the bathroom.
All right, then next question. Think of a class, either current or from the past, in which you felt you were supported to do your best. Okay, so I got something for this. So there was a class called Design Tech IB, or IB Design Tech, and there was a class about 3D designing. So I thought I was always supported to do my best because it was mainly because of the teacher. He was very supportive, and he also gave out help to anyone that asked, and it was always very on point. You knew he knew what he was doing. He had like almost answers to every question. And here I was really supported to do his best, or do my best, and it was all because of my teacher.
I feel like my language arts teachers, they were always very supportive and comforting of me, and they're all, like also fun too.
All right, so what about that class made learning easy or accessible for you? How about I ask this to you now?
What was the question?
What about that class, the language arts class that you took? What made it easy or accessible for you?
Oh, she just like made fun activities on like Google Slides and on online, so it's also simple and creative.
Cool and interactive. That is a really good method. So, anyone else want to talk about like a class?
I felt like my physics class that I took last year was really engaging class and really just inspiring class for all of us, just because whenever people heard about the word physics or when they wanted to choose physics class, it seemed like it would be a really hard class, but actually the teacher allowed the whole school to engage in activities like the boat race or anything related to physics, but she made it really fun. So a lot of people actually broke that stereotype about how hard or just like tedious physics would be, but they actually got really interested in taking the class of all the activities that we planned.
Sounds like a great learning experience. All right, so have you ever struggled in a class or a subject, and what made that class difficult?
So freshman year, I had this teacher, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was an Algebra 2 honors teacher. He personally didn't teach anything in class. He would like yell weird stuff, and say like offensive things in the middle of lessons while like not progressing through his lessons. So it made it really hard to learn anything in his class. And his tests were also really hard while he wasn't teaching anything. So yeah, I was definitely struggling.
If you could, Jamie, if you could tell your teacher constructive criticism to improve? And like just in general, what would be like the ideal teacher to you that would make the classroom more collaborative, more fun, and more engaging?
I guess actually like going through his lessons and then saying like other stuff in the middle of his lessons, and also like decreasing the rigor of the test if they're not teaching the materials in time or in class, and not expecting students to learn them themselves for the tests.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not saying I noticed, but if he curved those tests, do you think that would have changed anything? Because like in most colleges, the tests are very difficult, but because there's like a curving system, even if like people get like B's on tests, they don't do so well. Like the curving may bring those higher percentages up. Do you think that could have been fair in his class?
Definitely, because he didn't curve while like half of students got D's and C's on tests, and he would always complain like, oh, why did you guys get such low scores? Well, if half the class is failing his class, that's probably on him, not us. So yeah, he should have definitely curved his grades or the tests.
All right, so anyone else want to talk about any struggles in your class? Okay, then let's move on. So, is the letter grade system fair? Do you think students should be graded on their effort or their performance? Connie, would you like to give it? Oh, sorry.
You can go.
I guess David, you should probably go now.
Okay then. I think that at the end of the day, performance is should be weighted a little bit more than effort, because that's a lot, like outside of school, I think that's what people care about the most, and that's basically what they look into. But I think effort should still be rewarded, because I think just because you this is smarter than everyone else doesn't mean you can you have that like participation. So I think schools should, and right now they do value performance a lot more than effort, and I think that's because that's the same as the outside world. But I think there should still be at least a little bit of emphasis on participation as well.
I mean, I think that your efforts which you put in will at the end of the day result in better performance in general. I mean, I know there are like some people who don't even study, but they get good grades, and others who study a lot and they get bad grades. But like, I don't know how you would really like implement like or really reward effort, because if you give people who did better like and put more effort in, like how would you kind of know that? I mean, there are some like clues, but like if there's no like standardized way of measuring it, I don't know how you would also like, I do agree that effort should be rewarded, but like I just don't know how you would do that. So if anyone wants to jump in.
For me, I think effort is shown through participation and attention during class. Like obviously you can't really measure, right? Like you said, you can't really measure it with like a number or a percentage, but I think your actions inside class and within your assignments show your teachers that kind of effort. So I think if you've been teaching for a substantial amount of time, you can kind of figure out to a certain extent if someone is trying or not, and it kind of shows in their attitude. So I think that's how you can measure effort. And I don't think it's the most like perfect way to do it, but I think that's the best way we have as of now.
All right, so then moving on. So is academic competition strong at your school? Do you feel like academic validation is common in your peers?
I think competition is really strong at my school personally. Like everyone after tests are like, oh, how'd you feel? Or like, how'd you do? What grades you got? Not to comfort them or anything, but just because they want to check if they like did bad or not, or they did worse than anyone else. And if you get better grades than somebody, like they'll definitely give you that look of like, wow, you got like a better grade than me. So yeah, I think it's definitely strong at my school.
Anyone else have to talk about their academic competition in their schools? Or is it not a problem?
I think within my peers and friends, academic validation is also good because I noticed that when people get good grades, they get that sense of pride, which is normal. But I think in like my personal friend group, it's a little much because they can base their whole emotions of the day after one grade that they get.
I can definitely relate to that. All right, so next question. So, what do you think about the hidden ranking system all high schools have of their students, and why shouldn't it be publicized? All right, I'll do my take on this. So, in my school, a long time ago, when the ranking system wasn't hidden, it was actually publicized, and let's just say there were a lot of issues with this because people would constantly check their rankings, and if they fell below by like the smallest decimal point, then they'd have a mental breakdown, and there were like a lot of suicide cases because of this. So I think having a constant like ranking system of everyone in your school is like not the way to go. At least you can have one, but you don't have to show it because things like that can happen.
It also leads to like people bullying other people based on their own ranking. Like I think I don't know if this is true or not, but like I think at our school I heard stories where like they used to do that ranking system and they used to like call people by their number instead of their name. I don't know how true that is, but that's just a rumor I've heard. And I think if that keeps happening at school, then obviously your mental health is gonna deteriorate, and especially if this is happening like every single day, and plus the stress of all your schoolwork and everything, it's really much. So I think that's why one of the biggest reasons why schools don't and shouldn't have ranking systems.
Yeah, I agree. It also serves as like a public humiliation, you know, like imagine you're the last ranked person. Like how would you feel? Like it kind of comes off as like you're the dumbest at the school. Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but like it kind of shows when you're like seeing the whole ranking, you go to last place, you're like, oh, this guy is not that smart. And if you like drop rankings, it's like many people will interpret that as like not being smart. And like it also will inspire a lot of competition, but I think it's just too much and it's just not in the right direction. Like we should be promoting each other to be better, but not taking each other down because of our rankings.
All right, that seems like a wrap. All right, thank you everyone for talking about what you'd like to change about schools today, and that's it for the Media Club. Thank you for listening.